Welcome to Cooking with Crew. There's nothing quite like a homemade bowl of spaghetti and meatballs, but today we're going to be spicing up this classic dish with our Merlot seasoning. Let's head to the kitchen. Here's a list of all the ingredients we're going to be using today. While we will be making two different recipes, they're all using pretty much the same ingredients. Don't forget your Cru Merlot seasoning and your Cru olive oil. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is cut up 2 yellow onions and 4 cloves of garlic. Then we're going to put these on the stove top for a little bit of time to let them reduce down and really break open those flavors. When you're cooking with onions to pair with wine, one of the things I really love about onions is the way they break down. By heating up the onions, we slowly are reducing and releasing natural sugar compounds that are found in onions that go perfectly with a lush, low tannin red wine like our Cru Merlot. I really enjoy pre-prepping all of my ingredients prior to cooking. It's a nice way to stay relaxed and enjoy the cooking process while knowing for sure that you have everything that you need right at your fingertips. Our Cru Merlot spice comes with wonderful ingredients like sage, fennel, chive, cocoa nib, espresso salt, red bell pepper, and proprietary blend of spices that go perfect with our Cru Merlot. Since it's not tomato season here in Napa Valley right now, we're going to be using 2 28-ounce cans of San Marzano style whole peel tomatoes. These are the perfect tomatoes for making any type of homemade Italian sauce. Now grab your Cru olive oil. This we actually make from the estate here in St. Helena, and it is the most wonderful and mild extra virgin olive oil. It's perfect for cooking and really gives flavors that you would want from an olive oil, nothing too overpowering. It's really great. Then we're going to add 3/4 of our onions and garlic, and then add our San Marzano tomatoes to that mixture. Go ahead and allow it to come up to a boil. You're going to notice that most of the tomatoes are whole. They're so beautiful. We're going to allow this to just reduce down completely as is, and we'll smash those up a little later. Then add 5 tablespoons of butter and 4 tablespoons of our Cru Merlot seasoning. Immediately when I add the seasoning to this dish, it smells so good and rich of fennel and chive and cocoa nib. I cannot wait to see how this is going to turn out. Let's then slowly cook about 1 cup of onions and 2 garlic cloves on the stove for our meatballs. I don't know about you, but I love having a little bit of the wine that I'm going to be pairing with a dish while I'm cooking. Tonight I pulled out our Cru Merlot. It's the perfect pairing partner to this wonderful dish we're making that's going to complement those Cru Merlot spices as well. Our Cru Merlot has wonderful flavors of Bing cherry, juicy black plum, with slight cedar and fresh tobacco notes, along with a wonderful full mouth-bodied feel of red and black fruits, chocolate-covered espresso beans, and a velvety texture. One of the things I love about this wine is the tannin profile on it is perfect. It has enough acidity in it that it can go with these wonderful tomatoes, but it's also very balanced and polished. This is a limited production wine. We make about roughly 100 cases of it, and it's made right from our estate at Aida and some other select vineyards that Keith Emerson, our winemaker, actually manages and sources fruit from. We actually barrel aged this for 18 months in 100% French oak, 60% new, and 40% once used by some of our estate wines. This wine is a composition of 85% Merlot, 13% Cabernet Sauvignon, and 2% Malbec. While our sauce is simmering, we're going to go ahead and make our meatballs. Crack 2 eggs, add our Parmesan, add our breadcrumbs, and 4 tablespoons of our Cru Merlot seasoning. Go ahead and start to mix and combine those together. Once you've combined all the dry ingredients, go ahead and grab a half a cup of water and slowly start to work it into your meatballs. Once you've combined those nicely, go ahead and grab the onions and garlic that you had simmering on the stove and mix them in nicely. One trick I like to use is to actually cook the onions ahead of time and put them in a bowl so that when I work with them, they're not super hot. Once the ingredients are well combined, go ahead and preheat the oven to 350. Let's go ahead and check on our wonderful sauce over here cooking away. Now, we're going to go ahead and start making the balls. I like to have mine a golf ball size or a little bit smaller. I just think that they're a little bit easier to cut into, but you can go ahead and make them any size you want. Our sauce is on a nice simmer. Let's go ahead and start cooking these meatballs. Grab your Crew olive oil and go ahead and heat about 2 tablespoons up in a pan. We're just going to brown these before we throw them in the oven to really lock those flavors in so they don't also get dried out. While you're doing that, continue to tend to your sauce so it doesn't get too thick or burn. Once you're done browning all of your meatballs, go ahead and put them in the oven for about 15 minutes while they continue to cook in there, and all those flavors will explode. I can already smell the incredible aromas of the wonderfulness of our espresso salts and the red bell pepper, and a lot of that sage is starting to come out as well. Now that our pasta sauce is pretty much done, we're going to go ahead and break up all those San Marzano tomatoes and really start to break open more flavors in here. I really love this part because you see how well the tomatoes and the sugar and the onions all start to build together. We're about 20 minutes out from serving this awesome dish, so go ahead and throw your spaghetti into a pot and bring it to a boil. Now that everything's ready, let's go ahead and pull out our meatballs and get dinner on the table. Don't forget the best part. About our spices, our wines, and all the things we do here at Vineyard 29, please go to vineyard29.com. Check us out on our Instagram at Vineyard29, and thank you so much again for tuning in. Cheers!